Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video I want to share with you a new team formation come up with by beepze, and it is getting even beating the Harak team for me on this account, and it is even beating like the Sonja team. Basically it might be related to RNG. I only did one run and I got a really good score, like over 98 billion. However, other people haven't had the greatest results with it, so it's just something to keep in mind. But I want to share this team because it's really cool, because it isn't using Sonja, it isn't using Harak, and so it is a more obtainable team for people to put together. You're going to have the main Fresser in front of Shakir, Illusion in front of Smokey, with the Verdant spell that is going to give haste to your supports, and mainly Ludovic, and that allows Ludovic to deal a lot of damage, because Shakir will be buffing him up. Of course, the charms are going to be very important. You need to have insight charms on Ludovic. You need to have the mystic charms onto Shakir, and then ideally give skill power to the Mikola and the Smokey. And then finally, Festo sorcery charms are good for him, but even if you don't have them, any mythic, a set of 3 mythic charms is good for the stats that he has. However, now with refinement as well, you also want to refine the charms, and so might as well do it on the sorcery charms, because those are considered its overall best charms. So I'm going to show you the replay of this run. This is a team that you guys can try. I don't know how many times you'll have to try it in order to get a top score. We can do some skips towards the end of this video to see like how did I get such great luck here, I guess. But yeah, some people have even gotten I think around 100 billion damage with this team, and the Harak team, for me, I'm really only getting around 94 or at most 95 billion damage with the Harak team this week. It can get up to 100 billion for some people, but that needs like a fully maxed out account, and also it needs like good RNG again. Lone Gaze is just a heavy RNG boss because of the movement of the boss around the map. So what is really kind of interesting here is that the Smokey is in a position that you wouldn't think would be good. He's not being buffed up by the Shakir, and that is why his damage output is low. You guys saw he only did 13 billion damage, whereas if he were buffed up by Shakir, he could get up to 20 billion damage or more. But it's kind of because all of the other heroes are taking the priority, and you want that Shakir to buff up your Ludovic rather than Smokey, basically, because Ludovic will contribute more to the damage than the Smokey. And Smokey is always providing the attack buff for Ludovic at least, but that's kind of it. All the other allies are grouped up outside of the Smokey's buff range. So definitely it is an interesting team. Maybe there will be some improvements in the future. I don't know. It's going to be really difficult because these teams are so heavily optimized. But yeah, I mean, everything looks good. The Curse Sphere from Mikola, the haste buff from Shakira, the haste buff from the Verdant spell activation, all of these are giving massive haste to Ludovic so that he can cast his HP per second damage skill over and over again and keep getting off high damage. Yeah, so this is an amazing team. Doesn't need you to build Harak, and even if you didn't go for Sonja, it is going to be a good option for you. Okay, 98.2 billion. Now, what I'm going to compare that to is last week I did get my top Harak score, but if you take a look here, I'm going to show you how many Harak runs I did. So 93 billion, 94 billion, 90 billion, 96 billion, 87, 94, 94, 93. So the one which was 96, interestingly, I was trying a different formation. This is not considered the best formation. The best formation, and the one that I got 97 billion with last week, I think, was the team I tried before this one, with the main Fresser in front of Harak and then the Illusion off to the side. This is considered right now, and it was come up with by I believe this was come up with by Jake, and this is considered to be the overall best Harak team. However, like you've seen right here, we did get a really good score from my account for 96 billion with the Fresser up here on the side. However, last week I used like the old, which is Jake's formation, and I got 97 billion even last week on this account. So a lot of it will come down to RNG. Now what we're gonna do is I will now show you the I want to look for last week, and I want to see the best Harak team showcase and see what happens and what happened in the RNG. We're not on Orson, we're on Lone Gaze. Okay, so it was this 97 billion, which I think, again, I got pretty lucky to get it off pretty much right off the bat, only on the second attempt. And here it is. Now, the thing I was thinking, and why I changed around like the Frost or Illusion position, is because now Harak is guaranteed to devour the ally who is the most frontmost in position. So I thought if we move Frost or Illusion up to the front, even in front of like Rainier, for example, then Harak will devour the Illusion before the Rainier, and that would be better, I would think. However, I don't know. Because then after the Illusion, he would devour the Rainier, then he would devour Mikola. And honestly, like, devouring Rainier early on is also a good option because Rainier is hardly contributing anything. And then what can happen now is, like, you can devour the Fresto Illusion 2 times in a row if you're lucky. And then you can get, like, your overall top score. So I think this is probably still the best team formation, but it will just rely on the RNG. Okay, yeah, like, right there. Amazing. Like, devouring the Fresto Illusion. And now again, if we can devour the Fresto Illusion again before the main Fresto, is pretty much perfect. Like, then you can't really ask for a better fight RNG. And yeah, and the people who are getting 100 billion damage with this team, they first of all have their resonating level for Dream Realm. Yeah, perfect, devouring the Illusion. They have their resonating level for Dream Realm heroes up to 821 or higher. This account still has 820, so that is one differentiating factor. And also, not all of the heroes on this account are plus 25. Some people have fully plus 25 exclusive equipment on their Dream Realm heroes, or even Fresh, so this account is not have it on Forever, but it does have it on Harak. Okay, there. So, I mean, this was a really good RNG run, but you're going to need, like, this perfect RNG if you want to set, like, a top score with Harak. But the Ludovic team even beat this score, and we were probably only, like, 1 resonating level higher across the board on the heroes, and this is all, yeah. So, the Ludovic team is a really good option. However, I just don't know how lucky we got in order to run that. So, we'll do some skips and figure that out. But now I want to show you guys the Sonja team. So, other than this Ludovic team, there's this Sonja team. Credit goes to Aisharia for coming up with this. Main Fresto in front of Shakira. Sonja going to be buffing up Smokey and the main Fresto who contribute the most damage of the fight. And Great Sword Spell for more damage, like a higher attack, like the highest attack percent of any artifact. Illusion and Mikola. So this is also a really good team you can run. Reliably getting around, some people have even hit 97 billion damage with it. Yeah, and on this account we got 93.4, but I think we could go higher with more attempts and more RNG. So all 3 of these teams are really good, basically, but this is a really interesting team. Now let's try running it a few times. Let's see, maybe even if we get amazing RNG, we can even break this record, although I find that hard to believe, because a lot of people have been struggling with the RNG of this team. So, okay, 95 billion, not bad. Still, like, if you're even reliably getting 95 or more billion damage, it is better than the Harak team, because that Harak team ranges from like 90 up to, like, if you're really lucky, 97. Okay, 92. There's just a lot of RNG in the Lone Gaze boss. There just might not be anything you can do about it. And I don't know about Shakira exclusive equipment, whether plus 15 is important for this comp or not. Because whenever there's a Shakira team that relies a lot on RNG and it is differing for a lot of people, that is when you begin to think, could it be an issue of Shakira plus 15 working better compared to not? Okay, it looks like a lot of the runs are getting 95 billion, and we just got a really lucky attempt on our first run getting 98 billion. What is weird? Oh, okay, no. A new record, but barely, right? 98.2 billion, which is definitely not bad. Really close. Yeah, I don't know if it's just kind of like a bias or something, but it feels like the first run you do, at least of the day, it feels like you get some sort of like optimal RNG. It just feels that way for me. Usually one of my top scores is that first run I do. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you can run some of these teams. If you don't have Freestro and you can't run any of these teams, there are a video I made in the past about the teams you can try and run, or you probably already are using those, so I'm not going to reiterate those. I'm just talking about the top teams. If you even just have Freestro, you can run these teams, because this other one is not even using Sonja, but is again showing you Ludovic. Ludovic is powerful because Ludovic was actually being used in 3 of the top endless teams. Now he's using 4 of the top endless teams if you consider this a top team. And Ludovic, this is really the Ludovic season. You should be buying him from the season store. But anyway, guys, I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Thank you all for watching, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.